It is Friday, September 12th, 2025. I am at Joel Pearl, thejoelpearl.com on Blue Sky. It is time to get in the weeds. A fabulous Friday, frantically Friday, plenty to do, but not much to say. Got plenty for you today. Jeremy Lambert is here. He's always here. We're
That
going to hop
wasn't
on the
bad. Was
plane.
that on the spot?
Yes, it was.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, a little rhyme time there. I respect it.
In a good mood,
Okay.
Some things are coming together, some things are happening.
Yeah,
How are you doing?
I'm well. Made it to a Friday. Can't complain about making it to a Friday, and we shall see what the weekend brings.
Plenty of it. Did you? You haven't seen this yet. Nintendo Direct. They did one of those Nintendo Directs. One of the things that they announced, this. It is the Virtual Boy Switch. It is literally the you put your Switch in and it recreates the Virtual Boy and play all of the games. Jeremy, I loved the Virtual Boy. Loved it. Capital L loved. And I'm so excited for this thing. It's probably not going to cost the $40 the original Virtual Boy cost me when I bought it. Ryan Lambert, send me your Virtual Boy. I want to own it now.
That thing looks like if you put it on your head, that you're just gonna fall forward.
So it was never made to put on your head. It would go on a stand and you put it on like your desk or a coffee table or something and you put your head in. And the idea was you were never to use it for more than 30 minutes at a time because it would cause headaches since it's all infrared inside. It's just all red and black and it would cause the worst headaches if you did too long.
Okay, well this you definitely put on your head, right? Like
Nope. You slip it in and you put it in, put your head in, and you enjoy it.
Really? No, pull it back up.
Okay, 1 second. I have my other sign up. There's so you can't really see it. Yeah, there's a little thing on the bottom.
Yeah, I see. There's no strap on like the back or anything. Okay.
People tried to do straps at one point, I think.
Yeah.
But
people are gonna try with this too.
Probably, but like you can't really do it.
Yeah, because your head, you're gonna put it on, you're gonna fall forward. That thing looks heavy as hell in the front. You're just gonna break your head.
Now you're gonna put your Switch in there, so it's like a whole extra weight on top of it. Yeah. Not that the Switch is that heavy, but it's still extra weight on your head. And that thing
looks like it weighs 500 pounds.
Well, it doesn't, but it juts out. The one that I had as a kid was probably heavier than it should have been, but it was also like $19.99. So it was expected to be that heavy. That's just the way it was back then. It's just the way gaming was.
I mean, good luck to anybody who buy. Do you have a Switch 2? Did you end up getting one?
I don't have 6. I just bought a new 4K camera. I can't get a Switch 2. I have the original Switch and I bought it during the pandemic to do streaming with, and I still use it.
Yeah, but you don't have Fight Forever on it.
No, I don't. Let's go for our monthly check. GG deals. Where is this?
How much is Fight Forever? Like 4 years later. I don't think it's been 4 years, but it feels like that game's been out for 4 years because it died after about 2 months.
AEW Fight Forever is currently on sale in various places. That's the other thing too. It never goes on sale the Nintendo edition. That's the thing. Yeah. Switch, $39.99 on the eShop.
That's still absurd. $40. Yeah.
Let's see what happens when I pull it up.
Video games are too expensive.
That's true. Let's see. Digital is pull up. $39.99. Yeah. Let's see what Amazon says for today's Fight Forever checkup. Switch $29.99. Used $24.94.
Okay.
It's still not.
Yeah, you're gonna be cowardly and not buy it, but okay.
Where's it coming? Where's it? $24.94. It's new, I guess, returned from Carrie Ann's Retail Goods. I don't think I'm gonna buy it.
See,
someone else wants to buy it for me. I think it's even in my in my what do you call it? My wish list.
Yeah. You're being a coward, Joel. Just buy the game.
I'm not buying the game.
Because you're gonna play it like once, and that's why it's not worth it to you. Which I completely understand, mind you. Like I don't begrudge you not buying the game, that even for that price, because I know you're just gonna play it once and be done with it, and so it's not worth $20, $25, $30 to to just play the game once. So
Here,
you should ask
yeah,
Tony for a copy at the media stream.
should. He just pulls it out of his back pocket. What do you need? I need the Switch one. That's in my car. You got a minute? Okay, here is my. Hold on. Is this the real link from my Amazon wish list? I got to make sure. I'm gonna give you guys the link to my Amazon wish list so you can do with it as you please. Here's the link. I'm gonna put it in the chat here. Now y'all can see it. You can do
for stuff, Joel.
I'm not begging. I'm letting people know that there is a silly streamers wish list that I have. A Yodo is at the top of this. Do you know what a Yodo is?
Dyslexic Yoda? I don't know.
YOTO. It's a very big European thing. It's like a little mini player for kids, really. And what you do is you take these little cards, instead of like CDs or mini disc or anything like that, you put them in and it reads stories to them. And you can make your own cards too. So you can have like grandma, grandpa read a story and then record it and put it on the thing, and then you have it forever. So like we're looking at that. That's at the top of the wish list. And then there's a bunch of like Nintendo games and other stuff, ergonomic mice, even though I have an ergonomic side mouse. Just silly stuff.
I do have a wish list that is just nothing but gummy clusters, nerd gummy clusters.
I
never
remember
shared
this.
it. I never shared it or anything though, but I did have a gummy cluster wish list. Yeah, mana and gummy clusters. If people want to send me that, please feel free, because at least the mana we get a bit out of it. So
Sure.
there's that's going to good use in the fact that I'll get drunk on air as we do this show.
I've got the old Reese's half-pound cups. Still
My
have those.
birthday's on Monday. I expect gifts from all you people out here. All right.
I don't need. You know what I don't need? I've got key lights here. I just bought these. Yeah, like video lights. I don't think I need it because I just bought this and it's massive. It's a 13-inch light. I don't think anyone needs one this big. But
what's it do? It's just a light?
It's a light.
Oh, is it like one of those like depression lights? I have one of those too.
No. It's a video. Like it's for shooting. It's a video.
Oh, okay.
It's
I
like
just have this.
Yeah. I've seen those
sun lamps. Yeah, this is like a sun lamp.
So mine is mine. You can change the color temperature on this one too, but the idea is this is just for lighting for interviews and stuff. So when I did Mania, you put a light on the top of your camera so that you can get better lighting with your subjects, because sometimes you're either in a dank space or it's not very well lit. Most of the time none of these wrestling companies put any work into lighting the space that you're doing interviews in, especially indies. That's just the way it is. So I'll bring a light with me and make it a little more palatable.
If you truly want to send me a gift, DM me and I'll give you my home address, assuming I actually know who you are. I'm not going to give it to some random person out there, but I do know there are people in the chat who I actually know and feel comfortable with. Like Ryan has my address because Ryan sent me stuff before. Ryan sent me a bunch of Reese cups that I got to hide from the kids. Actually, the kids actually don't like Reese's, so I don't have to hide it as well.
Smart.
So yeah, but yeah, there's people who have sent me stuff. Who counts as random? Nobody, like none of you regulars aren't random, but I'm saying, like, if you're listening to this right now and you're not regularly in the chat, then I don't know how comfortable I will to send you my home address. But if you're a regular in the chat, then I'll be like, all right, I feel okay doing that. I probably need, I don't know if I need a PO box. Nobody sends me enough stuff to be like, oh, let me open a PO box. I really don't get enough stuff. But my birthday is on Monday. I do expect gifts. This is not a, oh, I hope you guys said no. You're required to send me something, everybody. I'm banning everybody on Monday if I get no gifts.
Do not send my address to anybody. I know you have it. It doesn't mean
I'm not going to give people your address to send you stuff.
Although if they have a lot of money, if they offer you a lot of money, give me half when you dox me. That's true. According to Nintendo, I am part of Graze's family. I appreciate that. I'm on
5,000 VHS copies of Time Cop. That would actually be. We don't have a VCR though. We have a DVD player. We don't have a VCR. Should
I bring a copy of Time Cop to All Out for our pal TK?
You should get him to sign it. He probably has one. He probably had a bunch, honestly. Remember who gave it to him at the the Hammerstein tapings, right? For his
Did they give him a
birthday.
laser disc one?
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah.
I know that's a Mookie thing, is the laser disc one, laser disc.
Yeah. Yeah, you should get him a VHS one. That'd be pretty good.
I should ask him. Do you have Time Cop on VHS? Tony, Joel Pearl,
Oh.
Fightful in the Weeds. Do you have a VHS copy of Time Cop? I don't.
Tony's
I don't think I do. Well, you do now. And
Tony's
then they
gonna
just
be
go around.
like Tony's gonna be like, I got a Betamax or something. Like,
Oh, he's gonna be like, I have every
Time
single
Cop.
copy of Time
Yeah.
Cop on every platform available. Be like, do you have it on this old Japanese Ultra HD something? They'll be like, yeah, it's on HD DVD. Of course it is. $20. Tony's not worth $20 to me. If Tony gives me, a weekly interview series on this show, I will do it.
We just got $20 from Lab Glass, but it's not for Time Cop. It's for Mana. I can't get Mana around here though. They don't sell it around here. At least I've not been able to find it. That's why pal Micah had to send it to me, because he actually had it. Like, I don't know where to buy it around here. I would legitimately buy it for the bit. Like, I'm not above that at all. But I can't get it anywhere around here.
I could probably get it. Oh no, I can't.
Where do they sell Mana?
I did this whole thing with the LCBO. I don't think they sell it. The LCBO is the Liquor Control Board of Ontario. I remember we went through a whole thing where we looked for it. Unless maybe they started. Stop
Mana
asking.
Tequila. I forgot it says Mana. I forgot it's actually Terra Mana, not Mana. So I'm getting some weird shit for Mana.
Oh, they have it now. Terra Mana Blanco Tequila.
Oh, so you can get it.
$58.95. $60.
$60 for how big of a thing? Like the
$750.
No.
750 milliliters.
Okay.
That's the big size, the regular big size. There's a 375 available for $32.
All right, I'm gonna see if it's anywhere around here. Find Us. Yeah, see, it's Walgreens. There's no way Walgreens is selling. Walmart. Last time I checked Walmart, they didn't have it. Yeah, they can't find it at Walmart.
You know what you have to do? You have to go to your local Walmart, go to the customer service desk, and ask them, "Can you get this imported for me?"
They might have it at Target. All right. Maybe next time I go to Target, I'll look.
You just gotta ask around. You just gotta ask around. That's all.
I'll look for it at Target next time I go there. I don't trust that Walgreens isn't selling this. The local Walgreens here, there's no way they actually sell.
Volip showing love and saying, "Here, bud, buy yourself something from the dollar store." Thank you. My child will be so excited. Pop that dick, get that Mana. That's right.
I'm trying to think where Walgreens is. There's a CVS. I don't even know where Walgreens is around here.
I mean, every experience I have in the States, there's a Walgreens at every corner.
Yeah, we just had one like closed down near us. That's why.
Too popular.
That's why I don't know if why does their oh, that's all buy online. Okay. Oh, hold on. Oh, I can go to the college liquor store. Yeah, that makes sense that they would have it, honestly.
They would, yeah.
The Mexican restaurant we go to sells it, which is not super surprising.
Incredibly targeted.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't sell it in any of the because they sell just they sell liquor at like Walmart and Target here, which is not a thing that I'm used to until I moved here.
Yeah, I was gonna say there are a bunch of states that still do like government liquor, whatever. Like you had to buy it from a government controlled liquor operation or whatever.
How far? This is pretty close by. Where is this? Why can't I like picture where this is?
It's behind the school.
No,
teachers need to make money, Jeremy.
No, I actually know where this is. This is actually really close to me.
Hell yeah. It's actually behind your house.
I could actually walk there pretty easily. It's not quite behind my house, but no, I can actually get there pretty quickly. Hold on.
We did it. Jeremy will find his Mana.
Let's see how actual close it is, because I don't trust the Mana location tracking here.
Why? It's probably using the same API as Google or Apple Maps. It's got to be. While you're searching, Have you subscribed to our channel yet? Have you left a thumbs up on the video? The pyro will come, I promise. You've dropped super chats. Thank you. That goes a long way. You've checked out the wish list.
Yeah,
Yes, this is an ergonomic mouse. I do like having an ergonomic mouse. It's very nice. You put it just like that. And you hold it like this. It's very comfortable. It's the way I do it. Took a minute, but I got used to it. Did you find it? Did you find the liquor store? The phone is completely lost on your screen too.
Oh, is it? Okay.
If you bring it up, it looks like you're scrolling into nothing. It's actually very funny. A YouTube short of Jeremy buying Mana.
So the Mana website just says if you search for like stores that sell Mana, they all say Ohio State liquor store, like no matter what. And I'm like, that why do we have 500 Ohio State liquor stores? That doesn't make a lot of sense. So I had to actually put in the address of what the Ohio State liquor store is. And it does seem like a grocery store right up the street sells it. So next time I go to that grocery store, because I'm actually over there fairly frequently, next time I go to that grocery store, I will check and see if they have it. I honestly might be up there tomorrow. If we get Chinese food for dinner tomorrow, then I'll be there. So I will check tomorrow if they have Mana. And sure, I'll do a YouTube short of me buying Mana if they actually have it.
Monday is going to be powered by Terramana for Jeremy. It's how we're going to get through the episode. You're going to do it. You're going to do an interview completely sloshed. It'll be fine.
I know. I don't think I've done interviews when drinking it. Because one, it's usually at the end of the show anyway, so
right.
I don't do it. But there have been some shows where I've like started with it, but I don't think we've had a guest on that day. So yeah,
it'll be fine. There you go. All this because Nintendo decided that they're going to release a Virtual Boy variant. We went from Virtual Boy to Terramana. There you go. Look at us. This is why you watch this show. This is why you leave a thumbs up on this video. This is why you drop those super chats. Let's get that pyro. No, the subliminal messaging too. There you go. The pyro's out. Everyone's having a good time. Plenty to talk about. Plenty to do. There's actually not that much to talk about. Did not do a TNA post show last night.
Oh God.
Took the night off.
I tried to tell everybody to bully you to do a TNA post show, because if you didn't, there would be more TNA on today's show.
Honestly, I don't have that much to say. The episode was not that busy. It was not that great. Chris Bay and Montezi wrote the system's new theme song. That's cool. And for some reason, they waited for the non-televised, the non-live episode in the same taping night to bring out Trick Williams. Trick couldn't be on the live show where they had more things going on, and instead they had to put him on the non-live episode the next week. Why? I don't know. He's not on the next night of tapings either, so he's nowhere to be found. Probably taped a bunch of vignettes, but other than that, that was the only time they were going to show him live. Otherwise, the show was fine. Victory Road is next. No, it's 2 weeks from now. Victory Road is 2 Fridays from today. I won't be there. It's in Edmonton. The week after All Out. I don't think I'm going to do it. There's no reason for me to do it. TNA talk.
Is it over?
So the system and the Nemesis. No, I don't. I'm done. There really isn't much. Joel should have randomly joined the Freddy Got Fingered review. I stuck in there for about 15 minutes and then I went to bed. And I was like, I'm done here. It seemed to have gone well. They did 3.5 hours on that review.
That sounds about right.
That does sound accurate for Alex and Kate, but like 3.5 hours for that movie?
The movie's only like an hour and 30 minutes, I think.
No, I mean, if there's one thing Alex is going to do, it's go longer than the actual show's length original.
Yeah, 100%. That's why I said that sounds about right. 3.5 hours for them.
I am sure. Louis, get a Switch. The Game Boy Color games are on there. And then you can just stream with your Switch. Unless you're talking streaming in a different way. But either way. They did it. 3.5 hours. Good for them. I was asleep after 15 minutes, and I'm probably not going to listen to the rest of it. Looks like I said, looks like they were doing well. Looks like the chat was having fun with it, and I enjoyed a night off. I watched TNA. but I also didn't pay as much attention to TNA as I normally would. So that was that. And then
I
I
did not watch TNA. I did not care to watch TNA. I watched football like a normal human being last night, and that was about it. Watched football. It was a pretty good game. It was a decent game. Then I watched Breaking Bad like a normal human being.
I'm sorry, Sean sidetracked them for 2 hours of this. And it's not, again, not surprising. Yeah. Oh, Louis wants it to be the size of a Game Boy Color. There are so many like 1501 Game Boy emulators out there. You can find them. I've watched tech YouTubers, test and review all of these things. Joel watched TNA rather than supporting his coworkers. My coworkers went on after TNA. So I watched for the first 15 after I had watched TNA. So I did both. I supported my coworkers to help them get out of the bricks. And then I said, I'm hitting the bricks. I went to sleep. I have a time limit. They don't come to our show unless they absolutely have to, or it's like 15 minutes before the end of the show because they just woke up.
I'm pretty sure Pulowski's probably working. So I think Pulowski got a real job. So that's why he's not on this show.
I don't know. I don't think so, but I also don't know Pulowski that much. So
okay.
I don't know. But I think he said he's a full-time dad.
Oh, well, that's work.
That is work. I'm not taking that away from him. It's a different. It's not traditional. It's traditional. You know what I mean? It's not 9 to 5 in an office work. I don't know what
we do.
Well, most of the time. Regardless, I did not watch the whole thing. Good for them. Seems like they did a good job doing all the things they needed to do. Whether or not they recouped the amount of money Sean allegedly put out for these puppets, that's a whole separate question. I hate other dads. That's true. That's true. If there's one thing I hate, dads. Anyway, what else we got to talk about? Wrestling?
Oh, why?
I don't know.
What movies would we review on this show?
None of them.
We'd review Mac and Me.
Pretty much. Why would we review our own creations?
I put more thought into reviewing Ring of Hallucinations. I really like this idea.
Of course you do. It's yours.
No, this wasn't my idea. I mean, Ring of Hallucinations is my idea, but like doing a review about a show that doesn't exist is a very fun idea.
Well, yes.
I think we're going to do this. I don't know if Joel will be on board, but SP3 will be on board. So SP3 and I will at least do it. Joel doesn't like to have fun. I don't know if he'll do it with us. You're welcome to.
I do a lot of things.
Yeah. You're welcome to join us. But at the very least, SP3 and I are going to do this. Joel did not make the thumbnail I wanted him to make for this show. He was cowardly. He went with Saudi Mania, which is terrible.
We had agreed to that already. Also, hold on. Give me my flowers. It's a good-looking thumbnail.
I haven't actually looked at it.
Screw you. I made it, okay? And I'm proud of the way it looked.
Okay, Barry Horowitz, calm down.
That's right.
That looks good. It looks good. But my thumbnail suggestion was much better.
Yes. Do you want to bring it up?
I was hoping you did it as a bit of like, all right, haha, I do think this is funny. I will make a fake thumbnail for you. Didn't even do that.
No, it was my night off. I barely got the one we did. I've done enough. I saw it. I saw enough people talk about it, make reference to it. Are you going to pull it up?
No, it's because it's on my phone. It's not on my computer. I don't know if it's saving it.
Your bit completely falls out the window when you get to there.
It doesn't. All right, here.
I got it.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah, it might ring.
This would have been a great thumbnail, but Joel, cowardly, made it cowardly.
This is just like, oh, we have to do the AW one because people are good. We can still talk about Saudi Mania on Friday because we won't have much to talk about. Anyway, this was your idea.
Yeah.
Andre Chase with the new members of Andre Chase University.
With the caption Chase Snow.
Chase Snow is what he
Yeah.
wants. That's right.
A way better thumbnail idea than
Look.
Saudi talk.
Look, I'm sure most of the people who are in this chat will agree with you, and that's fine. I completely agree. However, why was he there? Were they in Florida?
Gives a fuck why was he there? Why wouldn't he be there? That's the real question. Why wouldn't he be there?
Well, no, I mean, where were they?
They're going to the Vatican. They're performing at the Vatican this weekend.
Hey, come on, no, they're not.
Yeah, they are, dude.
Come on, man. That Chicago Pope is all about clips.
Coke rap at the Vatican. Can you? We are so back.
We are so bad. You're right. St. Peter's Square, Vatican City.
Yes,
Grace,
I know I'm right.
Grace for the World. You can stream it live on gracefortheworld.live.
If I don't have to pay for it, I will stream it live.
That's so funny. It's on Hulu, Disney Plus, and
Hell yeah.
ABC News Live on YouTube.
When's this start? I don't know. I actually don't know when it starts or anything.
Let me see if I can find it. 3:00 tomorrow.
Okay. I might have college football on, but I'll pause some college football.
It's going to be Voices of Fire, Jennifer Hudson, John Legend, Carol B. Bim Bam.
Jelly Roll's there.
Sure. Jelly Roll's everywhere these days.
Yeah.
An alleged rapist 80th birthday, St. Peter's Square, Vatican City. He's everywhere. Wrestling, non-wrestling. Who else? Andrea Bocelli. Pharrell Williams, of course, is there. Speaking of people who go everywhere.
Yeah, he's producing the whole thing, I think.
Of course he is. So that's why he didn't put himself top. He just put himself second.
I don't care about any of those people but clips.
It's the world meeting on human fraternity.
Hell yeah. Nothing brings people together like a bunch of drugs. That's why Ring of Hallucinations is going to succeed.
What is going on? So I guess this is free, and they're probably just going to ask for donation through this event.
I'll donate some snow to them.
Yeah.
I got so many ideas. Look, if clips are wrestling fans, I got so many ideas for them in Ring of Hallucinations. They're going to be moving the bricks. We're going to bring Andre Chase to Ring of Hallucinations, and he's going to be moving the bricks and Chase you.
This landmark celebration marks the 2025 Jubilee year and the closing of the World Meeting on Human Fraternity, extending a message of unity across cultures and borders. The concert will be illuminated by a breathtaking drone and lights performance, of course, by Nova Sky Stories, inspired by the masterpieces of the Sistine Chapel, an unprecedented fusion of technology and sacred art. Sure. Who's going to be the voices of... Pharrell with the Voices of Fire Gospel Choir, Andrea Bocelli, John Legend, Carol G., Jennifer Hudson, Bam Bam, Clips. There you go. There's Clips. Teddy Swims, Jelly Roll, like you said, Angelique Kidjo, and the choir of the Diocese of Rome, led by Maestro Marco Frisina. And then a bunch of international choirs with Adam Blackstone.
Don't care about any of these people but Clips.
Well, hold on. A shout out to Adam Blackstone because he did. He's done a whole ton of music. He did. You know what he did? He did Justin Timberlake's 2020 Experience. He's done a whole bunch of stuff other than that. But he did that album. He's a great bass player. Great producer. He was at Raw a few weeks ago with his kids.
Do not care about any of these people but Clips.
What if Adam Blackstone was a member of Clips? You just don't know it.
I mean, that'd be cool. Like, Pharrell's kind of sort of a member of Clips, so I sort of care about him. But
probably should make an appearance there.
I do not care about any of these people but Clips. I don't know who half of them are, honestly.
That's fair. So where were they? Was this which show was this that Andre Chase was at?
What if he's just,
was it Pier 6 in Baltimore?
Maybe it wasn't at a show.
Vegas at the end of August?
Maybe it wasn't at a show.
He's got a VIP badge on. He's wearing a Clips VIP badge. He did the whole ass thing. He did the meet and greet and the whole thing.
What if it wasn't at a show?
Do you think Clips came to NXT?
I I think Andre Chase has a good credit score. That's what I think.
That's funny. That's very funny. What day was it? They were. Oh, you know what? It was. Hold on. September tour dates were Houston, Oklahoma City, Dallas, Kansas City, Minneapolis, Chicago, Detroit. So Minneapolis maybe on the 7th. That would have been the same day as TNA taping there. So if he was helping out with TNA tapings, or just
why would it be at the TNA tapings? That sounds terrible.
Yeah, well, maybe he had to work.
He wasn't on the TNA tapings, though, was he?
He wasn't on them, but I don't know how they're working with people.
I feel like they're gonna bring him there just to not do anything. He was at Clips. Just let that man live. Why are you trying to stalk Andre Chase? When did you meet up with Clips? Something's not supposed to be known.
That's a perfectly logical question for us to ask.
Well, some things are not supposed to be known, Joel.
What are you talking about?
Just let them live. Don't worry about how they got linked up.
I always worry about how they got linked up.
You feds.
He literally says, "Let God sort him out." Tour was something else. Where's the Vanguard?
Notice Joel didn't answer that question.
I didn't listen to what you said.
Well,
what?
Folks, note all of that. Note that whole interaction. All right, folks? Note the whole interaction there.
Was that you trying to talk about Clips with lyrics and I just didn't listen to you?
Nope.
Oh, right. Anyway, he was at the Vanguard Live in Orlando. That's where it was.
Note that whole interaction, folks. Remember that.
Sure. We already established that I don't listen to you.
You should have. You should have on that one.
Why? What did you say?
Nah, I'm not going to repeat it.
Just repeat it.
It can be used against me in court.
Most things can. What did you say?
I'm not going to repeat it.
All right, let's just pull it back here.
Are you rewinding the show? This is federal behavior on Joel's part right here. All he had to do was listen the first time.
Nope.
How's this going for you? Hey, everyone says it. This is why you got to pay attention, Joel.
Oh, my feds. Cute.
And you didn't answer. And you notice he still hasn't answered.
Yeah, if you think I'm at all linked to that, good luck to you. Anyway, thanks for filling that dead air with absolutely nothing while I had to look up your stupid "Are you a Fed?" conversation.
No one told you to go back and listen. All you had to do was listen in the first place.
All you had to do was repeat yourself and not make me have to sit there and listen for the stupidest thing I had to listen to.
Again, no one asked you to do that.
All you had to do was just repeat yourself.
You were you could have talked. You were the one being quiet there.
I was too busy having to look back to see what stupid shit you couldn't repeat because you were too busy being a shit about it. You were like, I'm not going to repeat myself about a question that was not even funny to begin with.
I don't know. People in the chat thought it was funny.
Yeah, people in the chat are dumb. What do you want from them?
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, you're on your own. Thanks for filling the dead air.
I know how much you hate that. That's why it's fun. That's why that's funny to me. Is because you hate it so much. I don't care as much.
Woof. Clips your bravado, says Volop. Cute. See? Super dumb. Take it, chat. You will take it, as you will. Anyway, let's talk about wrestling now because you want to make my life hell? We're going to make your life hell.
Okay, I didn't realize this was making your life hell.
Well, certainly not fun when you don't want to talk on a show that involves talking. You know,
I did talk. You admitted you don't listen.
Yes,
so
I did. And then when I asked you to repeat yourself, you said nothing. And then when you had to get me looking back on our stupid show just to hear something that was equally stupid, yeah, that's dumb. Ryan, how many times did you have to do that kindergarten graduation thing? How many times did you repeat kindergarten? Let me know. Look at this. Trying to get this chat to make me put on a scarf cover in my face. Pair of reflective glasses.
Thank you, Matthew. I'm very good at not talking.
Tell me about it. Well, when I want to find a new host, it's like, no, I'm not going anywhere. Come on.
What do you mean when you want to find a new host? What are you even talking about now?
When I talk about finding a new host, you're just like, no, I don't want to go. And it's like, all right, fine.
When have you talked about finding a new host?
Don't worry about it.
When am I leaving this show?
Don't worry about it.
Nah, now I feel like you're just, this is Fed behavior right here.
Yeah, this is you being a little shit, so I'm going to get you right back on it.
Yeah, this is Fed behavior. You're acting like I'm trying to leave the show.
Don't worry about it.
Joel, if you want to leave the show, you can.
No, if you want to leave the show, you can.
I'm never the one who said I was going to leave.
Well, I'm not fucking
I'm the one who extended it to 5 days.
I'm not fucking leaving. That's it. This is going to become a 24-hour spite stream just because.
I don't even know what you're spiteful about because I didn't talk for a few minutes.
Because you made up this stupid shit. And
what did I make up?
Your little Fed game, and it's just like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I didn't make anything up. It was a bit.
Wasted so much time for a bit that wasn't even funny.
You're the one still going on about it.
Yeah, because if I start talking about something else, you're going to be like, no, let's talk about how you're fed. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Yes, I know
I'm
you.
I'm fine to move on with it.
I know you.
I'm fine to move. I was fine to move on with it afterwards. After I did the joke, and then you said I didn't hear you, and then you're the one who wanted to go back to see what it was. And then you turned it into something, when I want to find the new host, you won't leave. Do you want me to not do the show? If you want to do the show with SP3
no, I want to drop
the
Fed bit. We're done with the Fed bit. Let's move on.
All right.
I don't want to talk about anyone being cops in a day like today. That's all.
Okay.
We're done with it. Chat, we're done with it. Let's move on. What else do we have to talk about? Are you going to Saudi?
I guess so.
All right. Well, book plane tickets.
I'm not going. That sounds terrible.
The announcement's coming.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Looks like it's today, 3:00, before Canelo Alvarez has before that whole fight goes down.
I'm still looking forward to that fight.
Sure, I also look forward to sports watching, but here we are.
Yeah.
This is the incredibly frustrating part where it's people are like, oh, they're going to bring back Austin. They're going to bring back The Rock. They're going to bring back so-and-so. They're going to do this and that. Because, again, the reporting is, for those who haven't been listening or maybe haven't heard, the idea is the Saudis are going to take WrestleMania in 27. And I do mean take. Because, again, the reporting coming, at least from Dave's side, was from The Observer, was that they were asked to not do it so soon.
Yeah, and they did it on Snapchat.
Yes, and they did it on Snapchat. They were asked not to do 2027, and instead they're like, nah, but we want 2027 because allegedly it's the 300th anniversary of the Saudi Arabian country as it is today.
300th anniversary of it? Oh.
That's pretty... Yeah, so it'll be... So that's allegedly why they're looking to have Mania next year. Not 2026 or the year after, 2027. Yeah. And... then the reporting continued that they're willing to make and put out big money, which shouldn't shock anyone, to bring people from the past into the show. Whether that means they're going to reanimate dead bodies, that's remaining to be seen. You know, Yokozuna, Warrior, those guys, they can come back if they want. If you give them enough money and they can reanimate a body, they'll be happy. But no, what's frustrating is that when the people started hearing, oh, it's going to be, they're going to bring back Rock and Austin and maybe Goldberg will have his real last match and all this shit. And it's like, why are you getting so excited for this? When 7 years ago, We were like, fuck the Saudis and the Saudi government, I should specify, and sports washing in general. Why are people celebrating this, Jeremy? Why
I
is
mean,
this?
are people? I'm sure people are. I shouldn't say are people celebrating. Like I'm sure people are celebrating. Most people that I've seen are like, this sucks. Like this isn't good at all. And I mean, it's not.
It's not good.
Nah, they'll do their Saudi show. I don't know what it means for. I don't know what it means for anybody. Honestly, like fans aren't going to travel to Saudi, but they ain't worried about that
They
because.
might. That's the thing, though. They might. So this was something I was thinking about. And I put it out on Twitter too.
Well,
One thing that you and I used to do when the Saudi shows were happening, we'd look up ticket prices, and they were really cheap because the Saudis don't care. They've already paid for the shows. They just need to pack the room. They just need to make it look big. So the tickets
yeah.
would be really cheap. Like we're talking less than $200 for front row seat type of cheap. And I'm talking USD. It would come out to about 200 USD for a front row seat. I don't know what Mania tickets are going to look like, but if they're anything like that, some people might look at it and be like, "Oh, I can plan accordingly." Granted, flights are much different. Getting there is a very different animal. But who knows? Maybe they're hoping that you can do a go to this country first and then come over, hop, skip, and a jump, blah blah. I'm tremendously curious about the ticket prices. I don't know who's going to make the trip. Again, internationally, there will be fans who do it. It's not American fan. Like I don't care about the American fan, but like Europe's not too far. They could do it.
I mean, you'll get some fans to travel, but they sell the events pretty well with just the fans that are there. So I don't think there's going to be too much travel involved because I don't think they're worried about setting gate records and stuff with this event because Saudi's going to pay it all up front anyway.
Paid it all. Yeah, and that's the thing for a $5 million gate on Mania. What do you remember off the top of your head what the gate was for Vegas? How much they made off of that? No, I can look. Yeah, while you're checking, because I know it's 55 million for the regular Saudi shows, and that's already much more than what Mania will draw. If Mania and Vegas drew 15 to 30, this WrestleMania is, I'm guessing, really pulling numbers out of my ass, 75. That's the number that I'm kind of guessing at for Mania next year or 2 years from now. And if that's the case, they don't need to worry so much about anything else. They will try, but they won't need to because they'll be making potentially, again, out of my ass, an extra $20 million on top of what they would normally get for these events.
I'm looking at WrestleNomics here. WrestleNomics doesn't have they have tickets, like a ticket distribution. I'm trying to see if they have like an actual gate, and I don't see them having a gate number. Yeah, again, they have the ticket distribution. I wanted to see if they had a
$45 million gate, 28 brand partners. This was from the WWE press release.
Oh, WWE gave the gate number?
Hold on.
I don't buy that.
Hold on. Where did I just find it? Just saw it and it went away. Stop it.
Well, WrestleMania 4, so WrestleNomics is from WrestleNomics. That, yeah, it even says WWE's press release in April announced that the two-day event set a new gate record for highest WrestleMania gates in history. The company didn't provide a number. WrestleMania 2024 in Philadelphia was the previous gate record at 38 million in ticket sales, or 36 million without ticketing fees. So if WrestleMania 40 was at 38 million, you would think WrestleMania 41 was at least higher than that if they said it's a new gate. So 39 or higher is what you're looking at for WrestleMania. Yeah, that's 2024, so never mind.
So regardless, if it's still less than the regular Saudi pricing. So that's really the point that we're trying to make here. is that regardless of what it is from a financial standpoint, if they already make 55 per Saudi show, and this was the highest gate this past year at well under 55, then you got to assume that whatever they're paying is going to be quite a bit more than the normal, and the ticket pricing, or at least getting people over, the amount that they would have made from that might be offset by the amount the Saudis pay for the show itself.
Yeah, I don't think they're worried about how many people are there. They're gonna, because I don't even know where they're gonna do it. They do have they got the different venues in Saudi. They had the one venue that's a little bit bigger.
The Superdome in Jeddah.
Yeah, I assume that's
40,000.
Yeah, they'll get 40,000 in there easily.
Maybe they'll make a new one.
I don't know if they can build it in a year and a half.
King Fahd in Riyadh is 70,000.
Okay.
So it'll probably be a King Fahd Stadium.
All right. So they'll do it there. They'll get 40 to 50 there and be fine for each night. I don't know how many people you're gonna get to travel, because they pack that thing for the big fights. I'm trying to, like, a Tyson Fury fight, I feel like does pretty well. And I don't know how many people travel for the Tyson Fury fights. I do think there are fans from Europe that travel, and I think you'll get fans from Europe that'll travel to this event as well. So yeah, they'll pack it, but it's mainly they're gonna get the money based off of they'll get the money just based off of the upfront money from Saudi. So
$1,300 for me to fly round trip Canadian in April to Riyadh. And I'm flying from a major international airport. Flying Egypt Air. It's a 16-hour flight with a stop in, where am I stopping? Oh, it's 3 flights? No, it's 1 flight. Where's the stop? What's CAI? It's got to be Cairo, because it's Egypt Air. Either way, that's what that is. Airport. Yeah, Cairo in Egypt. So there you go. $1,300 plus $200. Honestly, it might be less expensive than WrestleMania domestically. That's kind of fucked up.
They might be willing to drop the prices because, like, we've already got this upfront money. We don't need to make all of this back on pricing and stuff. So it might actually be a lesser expensive event.
So this is not me saying I'm going. There is absolutely no way in hell that I'm going. I don't care. Like, if Sean popped in and said you're going, my first question would be, how much is my danger pay? Because they let 2 Jews in and neither of them were me. So we're just going to leave it at that. I also I don't feel comfortable supporting this company for a multitude of reasons. One is this. From this standpoint, to be there would be not something I do. They can tell me, the WWE is putting a select number of people up in their 5-star whatever hotel, and I'd still be very uncomfortable with the idea of doing it. First of all, I hate staying at talent hotels to begin with. Second of all, it's everything to go with the sports watching of Saudi Arabia has no interest from my side of things. No, it's dirty, man. It is. And when you've got Paul Levesque going on Pat McAfee's show, and Pat's line of questioning, going from not even saying words, just making allusions in his question, was enough for me. Where he's just like, you go, and you go to the place, and then they do the things, and then the women suddenly they're there, and they're the kind of there, they're doing the thing, and the thing is cool, and you got to make change for the thing. And what's the thing like? You still want to go to the thing? And of course, Paul knows what he's talking about. And Paul's whole answer is like, oh, we're there to be part of the change, we're part of the cultural change. We're going to be the people that make all the changes in Saudi Arabia. It's like, but you're not. There's no change.
Yeah, but this is always their line.
Of course. And
this has been their line forever.
Yeah, and it's going to continue to be their line. And unfortunately, it's becoming more prevalent that people are accepting money from the Saudis to go and put on events for this Riyadh season. It could be UFC, it could be WWE. Now this comedy event is another one that's happening where a bunch of comedians, I think Kevin Hart's at the top of it. Or maybe did Kevin do it or did Kevin say no? Wouldn't surprise me that Kevin said yes, but yes. Sorry, just saying. He's part of this. He's got to be.
He doesn't
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
be.
yeah,
Come
yeah,
on.
he's there. No, he's there. He is. You bet your ass he's going. Yeah, the Jeddah Global Comedy, whatever. Kevin Hart's going. All of these people are going. Tom Segura was allegedly in talks back in July. So Pete Davidson's another one. And again, all these comedians are suddenly just being like, yeah, we can go and it's going to be great because we get all this Saudi money that we never saw because we're comedians and we grew up poor and we didn't get any of this shit. Now they're cashing in. And I don't know how many people really spend the time thinking about where the money comes from and what the money brings with it, the baggage that it could bring. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating to watch and it's very frustrating to cover because you know that regardless of how many times you point out the human rights atrocities in some of these countries, the idea is always, we can't fix change if you don't go. It's like, but you're going, and how much change have you done? What, because the women can suddenly wrestle on the show? They're still covered from head to toe and treated second class. What, because what, the first show, people were throwing water bottles and caps at Natty and Lacey Evans, and all of a sudden you're just like, oh, they're not doing it anymore though. They love the women. It's like, they love the women for the same reason people love the divas back in 99, because they consider them sex objects. They don't care. I hate to say it. Some might, and that's great, but like from a perspective of the country, they don't give a shit. Women can drive now. It's like, great, welcome to 1898. Like, what are you doing? Why are we trying to make this a thing? It's disgusting. The first two shows were marred in enough controversy surrounding the events that after that we were just like, there you go. Me Normus mentions Jamal Khashoggi, and that's exactly it. When you had an enormous outrage and uprage and reason to believe that this should be enough to stop this, they said, oh, it's still under review. And then it turned out that the thing that we said that the Saudis did, guess what? The Saudis did it at the behest of the Crown Prince, who was giving all this money out and making all these companies come and dance monkey dance for them. It's disgusting. So now WrestleMania is going, and of course the spin is, well, WrestlePalooza is going to be huge, and we're gonna make other WrestlePaloozas, and that'll be our domestic event, and it's going to be really big. Don't worry about it, guys. Yeah. Zeno Hour says KSA has changed, but not enough. That's fair. I get it. It's a 30-year plan of stuff that could have been done earlier. I'm not saying that everyone needs to follow in the Western view. That's not at all where I'm coming from. There is still huge influence from the Saudi government in the Middle East. They have tons of money for multitudes of reasons. They're also not making enough money because oil is a completely different. They don't have what they had. They have most of it, but they don't have all of it. So anyway, all of this to say, WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia is a big who knows. Other than it's happening, it's more how does it present?
Is it a who knows? Like what is the who knows about it? It's happening, and
I mean from a logistical standpoint, it's happening. The show will be, I mean, from how will it differ from WrestleMania as we know it from the last 41, now 42 years that it's been running, mostly in North America, not mostly, only in North America. How is this going to change from the way WrestleMania used to be presented? We talked about 41. When I was in Vegas this past year, it was nonstop all the time. Something wrestling, something WrestleMania, something WWE. There was always something going on, and there were always people there. And that was huge for WWE and for TKO, and they made a shit ton of money on it. This is going to change for 43. It's going to change. I just don't know how.
There are certain things, I guess, that'll change with it. It just feels like they're going to do WrestleMania in Saudi, and they're going to present it like WrestleMania, and then maybe something changes later on as far as they're going to make WrestlePalooza bigger, or maybe they do a second WrestleMania. Remember when they did not the Greatest Royal Rumble?
Yeah, what's the Greatest Royal Rumble?
Was it?
Yeah, that was the first event.
Okay, yeah, they presented that as like, this is WrestleMania Part 2. Like, so they've always presented.
That was WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah. But
I was going to say, they used to present it as an event that is equal or greater than WrestleMania.
Right. So they're always trying to make these shows bigger and bigger as much as they can. I don't know what the Rumble Saudi show is going, or the WrestleMania Saudi show is going to look like. I have ideas, and I think it's going to be a WrestleMania show that's even grander than the typical WrestleMania, and a lot of people are still gonna watch, and everybody's gonna act like it's just as big and just as great as WrestleMania here in North America. And then we'll move on from it a week later when they're back in North America and continuing to do their show. That's typically how this stuff goes. I mean, the fact that we did get through, I mean, you mentioned it, Jamal Khashoggi in his murder, and then they were stuck on a plane because of the dispute. And then days later, they're just like, we have a great relationship. Here's an extension on the deal we signed. And everyone's just like, oh, all right. Like, we all thought, that's curious. What really happened? But then we all just moved on from it, and they just kept running Saudi shows, and they kept presenting it like this is great, and we are the change. Again, they've always done this because they actually think they are part of something here. I don't think they're like naive, and they're just, I mean, they're taking the money, but I think they actually believe, because it's like, well, we went from no women to now there's plenty of women on this show. Look how we've affected all of this. And I think there is a little truth to that. I'm not going to pretend like I know the Saudi rules and regulations when it comes to things. I don't know how their country has progressed over the past nearly 8 years since WWE started doing events there. I do think some of it, I would hope in 8 years they have progressed, but our country's gone backwards in 8 years, so I can't be for certain that anything's really progressed. Maybe WWE's had a slight part in something, but they think they've probably had a bigger part than they actually have. They're going to go Saudi. They're going to take all the money. They're going to try to get as many legends as they can. I'm sure you'll get some of them who will take the money, and then you'll get some who are just like, no, my body's too beat up for this. But even if their body's too beat up, they still might be like, you know what, for $5 million, shit, I can give you a bump or two. Like, that's fine with me. We will see how it fully plays out, and we'll see how they try to make good in America off of this, because I think that's going to be part of it too, is how can you sort of make good in America off of this.
Saudi's Vision 2030 was based on diversifying from oil, and now they're going into phase 3 in 2026. A lot of this is going to be, again, diversifying includes trying to make yourselves look better in the eyes of other people, bringing yourselves to sports, bringing yourselves to entertainment, being the nice guys at the party after years of being the bully. And that's exactly what we're looking at. That being said, Zeno Hour makes a very good point. It's not like the U.S. is doing much better with human rights these days.
Yeah,
that is a reality.
That's what I said. Ain't like, I would hope they've progressed in 8 years, but in 8 years, we ain't exactly progressed. So
there has been a regression.
Yeah, I don't know how they're doing.
So I don't know. I mean, I do know that I'm not a fan of this. And like you said, it's going to happen. We're all going to be annoyed, and I think annoyed is pretty much, at least from our side of things, the common feeling, sentiment. And then it's going to happen, and then life will move on. Welcome to the news cycle, right? We'll all cover the show because that's our job. People will yell, why are you covering it? And we'll have to say, once again, it's our job. And I hope, I really do, and I've made this comment before, I hope a lot more people who do coverage, do the job, but also bring to light certain reasons why this show is different than what the norm would be, and how some of the money is coming in, and the reasons why maybe I'm asking too much of someone who doesn't cover, geopolitical issues. Maybe I am. I get it. Not every Listen, this is not a knock on someone who's maybe fresh out of school, finishing a journalism degree, or maybe they're in school and they're just trying to get some experience, a couple bylines, whatever. I would hope that some people at least take a look and just be like, okay, this is what's going on, and maybe it's worth bringing up something about the realities of Vision 2030 and the things that were the ways that maybe sports entertainment or sports in general were used as part of this long-term goal for the Saudis. I'm not here to vilify the Saudi Arabian people. I want people more to understand what that government is doing. I know we play this game often. We play it often. Pollock and Wei Ting are very good at this. I mention them often, and of course Brandon Thurston as well. He'll cover where the money comes from and what it means. And I hope more people take a stand like that, or at least put out an understanding of what this is.
It would be nice.
Oh, I'm completely coming at it from an idealistic point of view. Don't get me wrong. I'm aware of the realities of this. A lot of people are fans who are covering their favorite thing.
Look, man, reaction streamer 123 doesn't.
God damn it!
And that's the people they're gonna target, and that's the people they're gonna highlight. Like when the glass breaks, they're gonna show the reaction streamer and be like, yeah, Steve Austin.
Y'all,
that's all they're gonna care about.
They're going to offer some of these people a paid trip to the show.
Oh yeah.
And some of them are going to take it, and I hope some of them don't. I hope some of them stand up and they say, no, I would rather be in my home where I'm safer or whatever, and I just stay home.
So I mentioned this a little bit yesterday, but I read a great piece from Boxing Scene. And I'm not up on boxing journalism or anything like that. I pay attention to boxing once every blue moon, like when there's a big fight. And obviously there's a big fight this weekend that I am interested in Canelo and Crawford. Boxing Scene put out a very long piece. I'm not going to do it justice here with my little recap, but they got banned from getting credentials from the fight this weekend. Boxing Scene is a well-established outlet. They've got Lance Pugmire, who I actually do know, and he used to work for I believe LA Times, one of the big LA papers, and award-winning journalists and everything. They got a bunch of good people who have won various awards covering boxing and everything, but they didn't get a credential to this fight tomorrow. It's like, well, why? And they asked why, and TKO said, well, it's not on our end, so it must be one of the, so that means it's above us, or it could be Riyadh season, or it could be one of the main event fighters has an issue with it. And it turns out it was Riyadh season because they own Ring Magazine as well, and so they basically wash the coverage of anything bad. And Boxing Scene has been critical of whether it's the events put on by Riyadh season, whether it's fighters signed to the Riyadh season, whatever it might be. They've been critical of things, so they didn't get a credential for the fight this weekend. But one of the portions of this piece, and again, I encourage everyone to read it for yourselves. It's on boxingscene.com. One of the portions of it is the person who wrote it said, like, me, and this was years ago, me and some of my some of my colleagues, we were offered a spot at Ring Magazine after the Saudis kind of purchased Ring Magazine and purchased the outlet and everything. And part of it was like some kind of life-changing money and some like first-class flights and everything. So I'm sure they will offer streamers like, hey, yeah, we'll give you a first-class ticket to Saudi and, stream all the content. You can get whatever you want, and people will probably take them up on it. And then there might be some people who don't take them up on it. But boxing, amazingly enough, probably has a little bit more higher standards. I don't know if this is that amazing. Boxing's been around for a while. It is a legitimate sport. Boxing journalists kind of have more standards than wrestling content streamers, who will probably just take a look at that and be like, yeah, I'll take that. That's great.
Are we all this stupid? God damn it.
Joel, you just yelled at our chat earlier for being really stupid. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
true. I
you
did.
can't now question stupidity.
That's true.
You're part of the problem, Joel.
Especially when half of them answered it's true, we're stupid. Chat, I know you know it. I'm gonna say it out loud. You're not stupid. Oh, I'm just what you said at the end is incredibly striking, frightening, and completely understandable. Listen, man, from day one, what have you said? What have people told us? What did you tell me when we asked, or you asked, what do you want from this wrestling coverage thing? And the first answer is always, there ain't no money in this game. This is the money that comes in this game, and unfortunately it's incredibly dirty. You have to be willing to handle either accepting that money or accepting the reality that the money isn't there. There can be money in it. There can be. If you bust ass, there are people who work incredibly hard and get great contracts. Again, Denise is a wonderful example of this. Denise works incredibly hard and does lots of work, different work, and that's the thing. She is independent, but she works for a plethora of different organizations, including her own channel, and she does well because of those things. She's not ballin' rich, but she's, I think, in a place where she's growing at a comfortable speed, and that comes with a lot of hard work. And I hope that these streamers understand that there is, if you're approached for an opportunity like this isn't a shortcut that's worth taking, in my opinion. We'll see. Me and Norma sent a super chat saying, can't wait for Dark Side of the Ring about the Flight from Hell 2.0, Saudi Boo. Personally, I can't ignore the moral bankruptcy for profit. And that's the thing. I get it. And as fans, I hope more people understand and take a viewpoint like that, where if something makes you feel ick, dude, don't force yourself to watch it. Don't force yourself to watch snuff films just because everyone else said that this is cool, you know? And I listened to the Ask Grapsity episode yesterday while I was out for my walk this morning. And they were talking about, being almost forced against their will to see stuff that shows up on the timeline that they don't want to see. And I'm not going to get into the specifics of what those things are, but over the past 48 hours, I'm sure people can draw conclusions based on that in the conversation. I'm lucky that I don't get subjected to that stuff on my timeline. Maybe it's just curation. Maybe it's just my own abilities to keep away from it. But all that said, you don't need to. Why did I think that Joel said Ask Grapsity? Because I slurred my Ask Grapsity. That's why they were talking about it. But it's true. I don't go out of my way if it makes me feel gross to talk about it, cover it, anything like that. Some people, listen, man, they can stomach the conversation. They want to have the conversation. They feel it's important for them to have the conversation. Go for it. But if it's not for you, don't subject yourself to it. Keep your mental health in check. Yeah, shout out to Reg and Phil. Good dudes. They got an interview with Chris Statlander coming up. Anyway,
sorry,
all
I'm
this
trying
to
to
say,
answer this question.
That's fine. All this to say, neither of us are going to Saudi that we're aware of. I don't even know if I'm going to go to Vegas if I'm asked. I've talked about it on the show countless times. There are things that I'd like to try again to do better, but also I don't know if I want to go to the States anytime soon. I've been pretty good about not going back. I haven't been back since Vegas this past year, and I'm normally there, 4 or 5 times a year. But I think after April, I was like, that was the last time I felt comfortable coming across the border again. Not because I have anything to hide or not because I don't think I would be safe, but I just don't feel safe in whatever the United States is right now. And this is just my understanding of things and how I see things. And again, I get it. A lot of news cycle is making them the worst, most out of the worst. So I'm sure that things are pretty normal for a lot of people. But for that 1 week in that one place, the fakest place in the world, putting on the fakest show on earth, I don't know if I want to be subjected to that again. I don't know. We'll see. And if they're not going to do any press junkets, and they're not going to do any press, well, not the press conference matters because they didn't bring me in last year. But like, if they're not going to do any press opportunities, then I don't know what the point is. We're going to see if it's worth it. Joel's going to ask MBS the hard questions. Jimmy Van has to bail me out.
Well, they don't do the press conference anyway. So
They
that's
honestly,
done.
for like the one time a year where they might bring it back, it's that, but I doubt it. I think it's
No,
more likely they'll just do it out in front of the stadium like they did for all the other events. No, you're right. They're probably done with it.
no, I don't think they're doing it at all. I think they like being in front of the people. So I think that's what they're gonna continue to do. Even for WrestleMania, I think they would much rather do it that way because they can control the spin and narrative, and the wrestlers can just do kayfabe stuff and get out after one question and like, oh, watch the show on Monday to really see what's going on. And Triple H can just praise how great of a booker he is, and that's that. They're definitely not gonna do it for the Saudi shows. Like, they ain't doing any type of press conference for that. Fuck. Uh, UFC might stop doing them with boxing, with the way Dana White got asked questions this week, because he ain't used to these MMA reporters asking actual questions. Because this is what Dana did with MMA is he would block access, he would block credentials if you were going to ask anything that was looked at as a tough question. And boxing, he hasn't had time to weed out who was going to fully do that. Clearly, the Saudis have, but Dana hasn't been able to do it yet. Now, people will be able to be weeded out, and so Dana's going to start blocking that access and coverage from it. This is their playbook, folks. The company that loves Donald Trump. This is their playbook, folks.
That should also be a big point to a lot of people. It's oh man. They're not going to do any of that. They're not going to do any of the press conferences for sure. For sure. They'll sooner have. I don't even think they'll even do like questions from the fans, unless it's an on location. Oh, buddy, that's why they were bringing the on location people into the press conferences. They were trying to give them a taste so that they could get the on location questioners. That's what it's going to be. Sup, legend? Oh, Mark, I've already beat me to it. I just catch up on the chat. Damn it. But it's again, part of a larger conversation. Not just about access, but also about accountability. And, someone like Sean will make reference to this quite often. Going to the shows is one thing, but when Sean realized that he could get so much more done from the comfort of his office desk, watching the show as it's presented to 99% of the viewership after the fact, not only because Sean is an on-air personality, but also for the reporting and the information that he gets, to be able to get it from all of the forms of media that he has in front of him, why bother going to the show at that point? And I can tell you from my side of things, the reason to go is because we can then present an exclusive separate look from the live perspective, from the live eye, that you don't necessarily see, whether that's an off-air event or a different camera angle or just a look inside. What did we see versus what did you see? Stuff like that is valuable, but it's not like we're getting interviews at these events because they're just not doing that. And even that was a loss leader. We were there because it was FaceTime. We weren't getting tons of views or anything like that. It would change. We would just be there to do the face to face.
The press conference is pretty pointless when it streams live anyway, unless you're able to get one of your questions in, and there's no guarantee that you're going to get a question in. So it's like you're just going in hopes, fingers crossed, you can ask a question. This is why Sean would leave a lot of these shows, because he'd do the scrums that they would hold before the events. But then what's the point of going to the event when you're stuck up in a box and you can't see half the stuff anyway? And then you go to the press conference and you probably aren't going to get a question. So you got nothing to cover at that point. I get it for the reaction streamers being there live. Like that's cool for them. But for us, it does nothing. This is why I always say, like, I'm more valuable at home covering all of this stuff, because if I leave and go to the shows and cover it, I might get some like on location interviews and everything, but I'm going to get a lot more done sitting right here at my desk. And probably do better for the site sitting here than going out. And this is why I always say, like, if I'm going to the shows, I don't want to work because I feel like I'm actually providing less work if I go to these shows than if I'm just staying here at home. So if I'm going to go to these shows, I'd rather just enjoy myself and not work at these shows. It doesn't, there's nothing to, there's no real reason for us to go to any of these shows. And WWE has made it to where you have less, for people like us, have less reason to go because there is no press conference anymore. The scrums are hit and miss now. Like sometimes they do them, sometimes they don't. Doesn't feel like you always know if they're going to do them or if they're not going to do them. AEW, they do the scrums for All In, but otherwise they don't do any of these like media scrums. So you're basically just going for the press conference. And again, you're more likely to at least get a question at those press conferences. So there's at least a little bit of reasoning to go. But WWE now, that's out. So
I'm actually curious. I haven't asked around, and I probably should. How many of our media friends are coming to Toronto, and how many are trying to go to Indianapolis for WrestlePalooza?
Yeah.
Because again, going back to the coverage and what you can bring back content-wise, I don't know. I don't know what the expectations are from some of these people, our friends, our media pals. But I also know, and coming to Toronto for an international trip is not as well. It's cheaper to go to Indianapolis for a lot of them. Like I should reach out to a few of the friends. I know some that are coming in from closer to the border. People who are coming in from like the New York, New Jersey, and Philadelphia, like Pennsylvania, like those areas, they'll come to us a lot easier. Even Detroit. But I don't know what we're looking at for some of the friends who are more like Midwest and South. I think it'd be easier to go, to Indianapolis in that point. But then you're losing out on a lot of different things, right? WWE's not going to do a post-show press conference. They're not going to do any on-site media availability that we are aware of for WrestlePalooza. It's like, what are you going to go for other than being there for like taking videos of entrances and moments? Yeah. And I'm sure WWE's happy about that because it's social interaction and you get views and likes and stuff. So like there is a reason to do it. In the case of me going to All Out, it's in my backyard. I'm going to go. If given the opportunity to go to WrestlePalooza, I don't know. I don't know if I would be going so quickly. Again, the international thing, is our St. Joel's going to be alone for All Out. It's just me sitting alone, one person in the stands, being like, "Do a flip."
You gotta remember that most people are covering it the way you mentioned of they just want to do their reaction videos and things like that. And WrestlePalooza is probably going to have bigger reactions. You got Brock and Cena. You got AJ Lee's return. You got Cody and Drew. Like, there's a lot of stuff happening on this show. So for the people who just do the content for reactions type stuff, that's a bigger get than everything going to All Out. I think people there obviously for All Out, but if you're just like an outlet that's just covering wrestling, but if you're not going to be able to get like interview questions and everything, WrestlePalooza is probably the better option for you, because otherwise, yeah, you're just going for the press conference at All Out, and the press conference may yield you a question or two, but you can just sit at home and cover that. Like, your WrestlePalooza is going to afford you more videos that are going to be viewed, because again, let's be honest, AJ Lee's entrance is going to garner more views than anything that All Out runs. It's going to do higher views than Edge and Christian's entrance. It's going to do higher views than Edge and Christian winning. It's going to do higher views than Moxley and Darby in a coffin match. That one entrance might honestly do more views than all of All Out videos combined.
So that's why
you're better off getting that live reaction than anything at All Out, than getting one press conference question.
And that's why Tony needs to manufacture another full-on meltdown in a press conference by one of his talents. Okay, I don't care if you got a manufacturer. You bring back Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho freaks the hell out in the press conference afterwards. And it ends with, "I'm not going to take this shit." And you gotta modulate again. You gotta do the same thing you did last time with the press conference, where every voice is a half tone lower, because we still never figured out why that happened. Why the audio for that specific press conference was snake bit from the beginning, because someone screwed up and put the wrong audio soundtrack on there. But either way, that's all
That's
they
the
can do.
only way to watch that all out press conference, by the way. If you watch Denise Salcedo's version, you are in the wrong. Even though her version's very clean and, got great audio, great
Yeah,
video, but you are wrong for watching that version. You got to watch the demonic version.
I'm gonna get the Denise Salcedo cut of whatever this year's All Out presser will be. I will be there will be a proper 4K camera with one of them fuzzy mics, shotgun mics coming out of the top. With I can't use my light in the actual setting of that event, but could you imagine? Could you just like me sitting front row, and all Tony can see is this? It's all it's just this right in his face. That looks great, doesn't it?
That looks amazing, actually.
It's just a light in his face. What if I make it like that? That's all the way. That's the warm panel. Let me make it all the way just a cool blue. There we go.
Super bright.
Yeah, that's at 100% on that brightness anyway. Break my camera sensor while I'm at it. Anyway, that's what I should do. Just put it all in his face. Tony, answer my question, Tony. What about Taylor's version? It'll be St. Joel's version. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I put out the tweet. I asked Media Pals who's coming, and of course our pal Lawrence from Love Wrestling is going, because he's in Montreal, so it's easy. We'll see who else is going. I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of my Canadian friends, like my CBC friends are DMing me saying we're planning on going, but they're not wrestling media. They don't count. They're actually better. Anyway, what's going to happen? What's going to happen to the indie events? I know you and SB3 started talking about that too. What happens? Saudi Mania.
Oh, and even so, I talked a little actually with the wife yesterday of like, what do they do? I don't think they can run like a big weekend. I don't think they can run a big weekend, WrestleMania weekend. Like, let's just say WrestleMania weekend is April 13th and 14th. I don't think you can run like a weekend in Chicago. I use Chicago because you're probably drawing in Chicago. New York, you're probably drawing in New York. Maybe Los Angeles is another place. Texas, potentially. I'm looking at, although I think Texas is like difficult to get into for fans. The AEW talent was complaining.
Yeah, it's either got to be a hub, or it's got to be a wrestling hotbed.
Yeah, Chicago's an easy one. Like Chicago, you're Chicago. You know what I mean?
Chicago is Chicago.
Yeah.
Damn, Phil Lindsay.
I don't think you can run like an indie weekend that weekend, because a lot of fans are just going to stay in and watch WrestleMania, honestly. And
don't forget, hold on. Don't forget WrestleMania is also an afternoon show at that point.
Yeah.
So do people stay in and then go out, or?
But the point is like, if you're doing a show, you're just basically running a weekend show at that point. Like, could you run a night show? Yeah, you can run a night show. You can run one on Saturday. GCW runs, 2 shows a weekend, 3 shows a weekend, most weekends out of the year now. So what's the difference between them doing that and any other typical GCW weekend? We are talking about a grand event similar to the Collective or any other IWTV, whatever they run. We're talking about a grand indie weekend the way WrestleMania is a grand indie weekend. So I'm talking shows maybe starting as early as Thursday, basically all day Friday, all day Saturday, most of the day Sunday, because that's how these indie weekends are typically set up. I don't think you can do that. I just, because I don't know how many people are going to draw for it. I don't know how many people are going to like go to those shows. And this is kind of my hang up on things. Is the indies run these shows because, as Janela's mentioned, it's WWE. WWE's there. 50,000 wrestling fans are there. Now, not maybe not all 50,000 are all independent wrestling fans, but if 5,000 are, okay, now you're drawing about 5,000 for your shows. Maybe just a wrestling fan is chilling, wants to take in more wrestling. Is like, hey, I'll go to this indie show that I see happening. So you're gonna get people draw, like there's just people there. There's already 50,000 wrestling fans in that spot. It's a lot easier to draw 5,000 fans when 50,000 fans are already there. So, go ahead.
So I like where you're going with this, and I'm going to push it forward in a different way.
Okay.
AEW is number 2. We know this.
Yeah.
All In started based on, you can't fill 10,000 and blah, 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 blah. And then they did. And it came StarCast. Does All In 2027 or a large scale AEW event that partners with other indies makes sense with the collective? Because while you're not getting necessarily 50,000, let's say you're getting 30,000, but more of the percentage of that 30,000 is more likely to be an indie wrestling fan because they know some of the talent from the indies that work AEW, also work JCW. Would a weekend like that operate properly, knowing that the fan cross, the cross contamination is higher based on an AEW fan versus a WWE fan at WrestleMania week?
Yeah, you can 100% piggyback off of a different AEW show or even a different WWE show. You can piggyback off of SummerSlam if you want to. You can basically make SummerSlam the big collective Indie Mania weekend. I'm not talking about piggybacking off of anything.
Okay.
Because they can always piggyback off of something. I'm talking about, like, can they do a weekend just like for themselves that is this style of weekend? Because yeah, they can supersize an All-In weekend or a SummerSlam weekend. Will it be the same as WrestleMania weekend? Probably not. Maybe logistically it might be a little bit tougher. But just trying to do like your own type of weekend, I don't think they can do that. I don't think the indies are honestly like hot enough to kind of do that. There aren't that many matches that you're like, this is what I gotta see. So many guys are just signed now. Like who is there that you can run 6, 7, 8 shows and you can present something new every single week? And then is WWE gonna allow you to use talent? At least during WrestleMania week, you got some WWE talent being used on the GCW shows. There's a possibility that some WWE talent shows up. There's
Sorry, I was going to say, how many WWE talent worked outside of Bloodsport?
This past weekend, not many. This past year, I should say, not weekend. Yeah, it was mainly they're using at Bloodsport.
Yeah.
So
I just wanted to confirm that because I'm like,
yeah.
again, I was at a lot of collective shows. I saw a lot of them live, and I don't remember seeing any, if many, WWE stars outside of Bloodsport.
Yeah.
Okay.
AEW, their talent's not really working these GCW shows anymore because GCW is WWE ID branding. So you're not most likely. Now, look, Jon Moxley can do whatever the hell he wants. If Jon Moxley says, hey, I'm going to work this GCW show, Tony's not going to be like, well, I don't know about that. Like, Moxley can do it. But not like Moxley's taking these bookings. Who else is going to show up and take these bookings? Is Danielson going to take some bookings?
Well, you ask him. He wants to work the indies. He also loves to lie.
I mean, that's very true. So I don't think you're going to get like a lot of AEW talent on these shows. You're relying basically on the indie talent to draw for this weekend. And here's my biggest holdup on this stuff. The cost of all of this. You're probably getting a decent deal on venues, on talent, on just about everything. And you're probably feeling confident you can make that back because, again, 50,000 wrestling fans are there. So you know you're going to be able to draw for this stuff. If you just try to do this a completely separate weekend, you're probably not drawing. You're not drawing 50,000. Not probably. You're not drawing 50,000. How many people do you need to get in the building to make that worthwhile for you? And then how much is the talent going to cost? Because if you're running less shows, talent might show up to these shows because it's like, yeah, well, I got 6 bookings, so I can give you a deal here. Who's paying for all the flights and everything? Who's paying for the travel, the lodging? Like, there's just so much behind the scenes stuff that goes into this that I think that's obviously a lot easier to deal with when you know WrestleMania weekend, everybody in the world is converging right here this weekend, this spot, where that's not the case if you're trying to run just a weekend unto your own. So again, I think you can piggyback off of All In. You can piggyback off SummerSlam. You can piggyback off of Rumble. You can piggyback off of any AEW WWE event. I don't think you can run your own actual weekend out of this. I don't see it. I think there's just too much logistically that makes it very difficult for everybody. I could be wrong, let's get Lauderdale or Janela on this show and see if and see what they have to say about it, but it just seems like so much. Like, maybe the convention, I saw somebody mention WrestleCon. That's another thing of, okay, you do WrestleCon and that's all cost. How many people are traveling to meet some of these legends? Maybe there are a lot of people who travel.
Dude, there are people who go to WrestleCon without going to WrestleMania. Like, there are, those people do exist because it's a wrestling convention and there are other events to go to that aren't the major show happening that weekend. I've heard that story multiple times. So yeah, what happens to a WrestleCon? They already run, they ran SummerSlam weekend.
Yeah, they run in conjunction with big WWE weekends.
Yeah, so this is just one less. And if the reporting, as it's come out is to be believed on the WWE side, that they're hoping that events like WrestlePalooza or one of those tentpole events can become the new domestic WrestleMania, or that some of these events are so big that you can bring them anywhere type of mentality, then you can do a WrestleCon domestically at an event that's not WrestleMania branded.
So, yes, here's where, again, there might be logistical nightmares because WWE's cool with WrestleCon and like, oh, you want Trish Stratus to appear because, we're already in town for SummerSlam? Okay. Does WWE just say, hey, wait, we're not running this weekend. You're trying to build WrestleCon off of this? Like, I don't know about that. Like, did they start pulling talent from that kind of thing? Let's not pretend like they're above doing something like that. Like, they don't pull them from random convention, Horror Fest and Comic-Con and all of that stuff. But if you are doing a WrestleCon type of deal here and you got these WWE legends, what's to stop WWE from being like, hey, they're under a WWE Legends review? Like, they're under a Legends deal. Come work our Fanatics event. And said, we'll book you for a Fanatics event instead of you doing this WrestleCon weekend where all these independent wrestling shows are trying to run.
Trying to remember WrestleCon when I was in Vegas. How many, like, it was a very busy WrestleCon. There were a lot of different people and there were WWE legends, but there were also a lot of, there were a lot of AEW talent there. There were a lot of indie talent there.
Yeah.
But they also, I'm just trying to think back. And then there were like the Bret Harts and the Jeff Jarrett's and Jeff Jarrett's AEW, but like the
Kevin Nash always works those things. Nash.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of those names, and they're under Legends deals, like you said. So you're right. What is to stop WWE from saying Fanatics Fest is where you're going to go? But these guys can also push back and be like, well, it's not part of my deal. But again, I haven't seen the Legends contract, so I can't tell you for sure. They're clearly, if they're under Legends contract, they're clearly allowed to, or at least they have been working events like WrestleCon, because their representation has been able to make those deals and they appear. I'm curious to what that looks like in the future.
Which I don't think WWE cares that they do all of that stuff, especially if I feel like it makes it easier for them because then they can just invite them to the WWE show. Right. Cleveland last year, they had DDP in the box, and they had Kevin Nash in the box, and Arn Anderson and everybody, and they showed them
Oh, they
on
had
screen.
seats for them, did they?
So like they had everybody there, so it's just, oh, you're already in town, yeah, just come to the show. And let's not pretend like WWE won't be like, oh, WrestleCon, hold on, we're not running a show this weekend. Nah, we'll book you something for something that will will we will run. We'll make sure you get your money back on this. Like, don't worry about it. We'll book you for, yeah, Fanatics Fest, or again, a SummerSlam weekend where you're gonna appear at the WWE World and not at like a WrestleCon event. They'll make some way to sweeten the deal for the legend, and the legend will not want to piss off that deal and be like, okay, sure, sorry, WrestleCon. Like, they're gonna side with WWE over WrestleCon or whatever convention it might be, just because the WWE money's greater.
We'll see what they do. There are so many different people who go to this WrestleCon.
I think my
Fargoff, by the way, popped me. Luger's Mania for WrestleCon. It wasn't just that. It was he had other plans too.
I don't even think it was other plans. I think he was worn out from the Hall of Fame. That's what it was.
That's what he said.
Oh yeah. Well, my theory is that they will just piggyback off of another weekend. I don't think they're going to try to run some hub like Chicago and everything. So I think that they will just,
try for a Fanatics Fest.
What's that?
They'll try to bring them in for. Oh, you're talking about like
the Indies,
the alternative. Yeah, the Indies.
Yeah, I think the Indies will just piggyback off of another weekend. That's my guess. Is they will
another WWE weekend.
Yeah, a WWE weekend. Probably SummerSlam, because that's a 2-night show, so you're going to get a lot of people for that. Maybe WrestlePalooza, but you don't know what WrestlePalooza is going to be. I know they're talking it up big, obviously. I mean, next year WrestleMania is set in stone, right? So well, until somebody swoops in with more money. But next year it's in Las Vegas, so you're getting collective and everything, collective in Las Vegas. I guess they will see what WrestlePalooza is next year. If they can make it a big event next year, then maybe they'll look at 2027 and be like, okay, WrestlePalooza, that's kind of the next WrestleMania. We can piggyback off that. If not, SummerSlam weekend is probably the safer bet, because SummerSlam is going to be big. They're not going to shortchange a SummerSlam. You know what I was thinking about with this Saudi Mania and everything? They owe 3 WrestleManias right now.
Yes. Now that was I was going to say Minnesota gets SummerSlam next year. That's already announced. That was the original 2-night SummerSlam announcement. Was Minnesota and the big show, not Paul White. They owe to Indy. They owe to New Orleans. And is the third one?
Third one's still Minnesota, I believe.
Oh, the make good for the original Vegas.
Yeah, they gave them a SummerSlam, but I think they also still owe them a WrestleMania.
So there was also the whole Tennessee, but this is not WWE. This is Tennessee saying Nashville was going to host in another year as well.
Oh yeah, when did
that was never official? That was always like, we're bidding, we want it, we're going to get it, and that might be in the future at this point too. If they have a new building, it used to be if the NFL team has a new building, we're going to try and get the bid there and go there, so that we can get the attendance records.
Yeah, they were hoping for 2027, which obviously
it's not happening anymore.
Ain't happening. Yeah, the Titans president was saying that Mike Organ of the Tennessean reported in November that WWE, this was November, when did this article run? November 2022. So yeah, in November, WWE had given a verbal commitment to the Titans to host WrestleMania in Nashville 2027 if the stadium was built on time. Well, we've seen what WWE does with verbal commitments, so. And London, I don't know when that stadium's going to be. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, Ace is saying London's owed one too. No, London has expressed interest, but they are not paying the cost to bring one in, so they're not owed anything for WrestleMania.
Yeah, they might owe technically 4 then if we're counting Nashville
I think,
on
like I said,
there.
I think Nashville was an ongoing conversation, and that was their hope of pushing it across the goal line, so to speak, was putting
Yeah.
it out there, was leaking it out there. So instead, the 3 that you have are more likely. They're more committed.
New Orleans and Indy are definitely committed. That's been,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
been
they literally announced New Orleans and then pulled it back. And then Indy was part of the press release they put out. So that's been like official WWE capacity committed. Minnesota was behind the scenes. Hey, we think we're going to make this happen. And then Las Vegas swooped in. Tennessee seems to be, hey, if your stadium opens in time, we will do this. So that's more of like, yeah, just kind of a, I would write out an IOU type of thing. London's probably in that same boat of it's more of like an IOU
I
type
don't
of
think it's
deal.
an IOU. I think it's a you got to pay.
Fair.
Again, this is, you guys talked about it yesterday. You made reference to it. Mark Shapiro coming out there and basically saying, and baby facing Vince McMahon and saying,
Yeah.
Vince wanted to price tickets for families, but we want to make more money. That's just not from fans. They want money from everyone, especially the companies and the organizations that want to bring WWE to their towns. They see WWE as the same effective moneymaker that the UFC can be and has been. UFC commands a ridiculous amount of money from fans and wherever they go. So that's kind of the belief in TKO, is that WWE can be on the same financial par as UFC. Paris paid, and they did the big show at La Défense. They did 3 nights in France that were touted as a success, even though I don't know if they beat the gate record for Clash.
They said they
Compared to
did.
last, they said they did. Okay, I did. I just
They
didn't
said it
remember.
was the highest gate. They beat Taylor
Oh yeah,
Swift's
the
record
Taylor
despite
Swift thing.
having
Yeah.
15,000 less fans in there.
Right, we did a whole conversation about it.
Yeah.
So they beat that, but again, that doesn't mean that they're coming back for WrestleMania so much as it means, we'll keep coming back as long as you pay and as long as people are going to pay the price to come back. The idea of doing it in London is, again, they're going to go to a place like Wembley Stadium if the Wembley Stadium people in London pay for the opportunity. That's all it is. They'll run where the money is paid to go.
I do like the WrestleMania punch card that Bargov kind of mentions. One more verbal commitment and they get a free sub. Here's your WrestleMania card. We've got verbal commitments for 3 cities right now. You want to go ahead and punch your verbal commitment? All right, good job. You're now owed a free little mini title belt that we gave to London out there. That's what you get.
Poor bastards. Oh, and there are so many shows throughout the year that WWE just wants a site fee for. Then they said that from the beginning with TKO. They're like,
Yeah, Mark
no,
Shapiro is.
that wasn't even a Mark Shapiro thing. That was a Nick Khan thing when he took over as president.
Yeah.
He said, I want a site fee for every place we go. If people are willing to pay to bring us in, we are going to accept the money.
Yeah,
So
that was 100% a Nick Khan thing. And then you listen to anything Mark Shapiro, which I listen to a lot. He continues to reiterate it, and he even says like they're not getting enough out of it. Like site fees drive so much for them. They have become destination events, and so when you kind of become a destination event, you can force these cities to pay for it. He mentioned Chicago and UFC, how it was the biggest gate for United Center, and he's like, Chicago wants us back as quick as possible because they know all that revenue is going to come in. And that's how all these cities look at WrestleMania, SummerSlam. And that's why WWE wants to keep branding these shows as bigger and better. I talked about for the longest time with AEW of like, you got to tier these shows to make it seem like at least one of these is bigger than the other. 2 of these are bigger than the others. Because if every show is the greatest pay-per-view ever, you don't really have the greatest pay-per-view ever. You just got a bunch of good level shows. Something's got to be bigger. And they finally did that with All In. That became essentially their WrestleMania. WWE's running the risk of like, if every show is a WrestleMania, then nothing is a WrestleMania. but they're going to continue to pump it as like WrestlePalooza as a WrestleMania level event because these cities look at that and be like, oh, well, we can't get WrestleMania, but if we can get WrestlePalooza, we'll pay great money for that. So that's why they continue to brand these shows the way that they do. And I think they will continue to brand them in this manner. Now, maybe I think they'll, at least Triple H will be like, look, WrestleMania is our WrestleMania. But if we can establish everything as a tier below that, if we can establish everything as SummerSlam, Rumble level, then we're doing business if we can do that. But we got to at least keep WrestleMania as the end all be all, because otherwise, the purists are going to get mad about that. But with SummerSlam being 2 nights now, that becomes a sort of a WrestleMania level thing because now WrestleMania is not the only 2-night event. If Rumble moves the 2 nights, that gets up there. If WrestlePalooza, if they're serious about making it a bigger event, maybe they move that to 2 nights. And so again, you run the risk of, okay, well, why go to WrestleMania when I can just go to WrestlePalooza? That's a 2-night event. You're going to have to put something great on these shows. It's 2 nights. You can't half-ass your 5-match card over here. We'll
6
see.
match.
Yeah, 6-match.
Take your
What
6
is
match.
WrestlePalooza? Is it 6 matches?
Is it? I think it's 6. It might be 5.
I mean, I assume they'll announce Cody and Drew tonight. Most
Yeah,
likely.
I mean, Triple H already said Cody's going to be at WrestlePalooza, and of course they're running Randy versus Drew tonight, so I have to assume that will make the 5th match because there are 4 announced. Io Sky and Stephanie Vaquer, Usos versus The Vision, the mixed tag, and John Cena, Brock Lesnar. So if you add a 5th, then there's your world title match.
Yeah, Cody was in the press release. Triple H already said he's going to be on the show. It's clearly setting up to be Drew, so I assume that gets announced tonight. They're doing Drew and Randy tonight, and I imagine Drew wins or Cody interferes, and
again,
that sets it up.
There are no triple threats yet.
Why do you have to do a triple threat?
Because you have to do a triple threat.
Why?
Because everything has to do with because they have enough one-on-one matches. We need a triple threat match.
Okay.
We got to counter All Out. That's what we got to do. All Out
does have a triple threat. Yeah.
You're doing a triple threat for the
that shit
unified
sucks, by the way.
So
SP3 and I didn't talk about it too much yesterday, but that sucks.
It was very silly. I saw it and I was just like, well, you already told us you 2 out of 3, and the third person's just there to take the pinfall. So it doesn't matter. Everyone's like, oh my God, Mascara Dorada. Oh my God, Beast Mortos. And I'm like, oh my God, one of those 2 was taking the pin on Saturday. So what do you
It'll be
care?
a great match.
Of course it'll be a great match. No one's saying it won't.
Speaking of triple threats.
Speaking of.
Hold on. Make sure this works. I have an announcement.
It's unfortunate.
Next week, I will have a huge announcement.
Can we at least go to Vegas for it?
No. Travel budget slashed. Jimmy hassling me all the time about cutting budgets. So no, and I'm like, what do I care? WrestleMania and every event's going to Saudi or Indianapolis. So I'm either driving or not going. Like, what I care. I give a shit.
I
but
got my credentials for London next week for Dynamite, so I'll be there.
Ooh.
I have not received the All Out ones, but I think that's because they're doing them this week.
Yeah, I'm sure so.
There we go. But I will be in London for the 5.5-hour Dynamite.
Oh, man.
However long.
I can tell you this. Tony Khan was very pumped up about that Eddie Gilbert tribute last night.
Good for him.
He was very, very happy. And like, gosh, I forgot just how much Sting worked with Eddie Gilbert. Like, because it was before I was, like alive or watching wrestling or whatever. But man, they teamed together a lot. Do you know the last time they teamed together? Because there's an ingredient in the match. Don't look it up, Joel, you piece of shit. Don't do it, you loser.
I feel like it was probably more recent than,
it was
1980 something. Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, it was 1989, but
all right.
One of the 2 people they faced, there was Rip Morgan and Jack Victory of ECW fame. When I watched ECW in like 99, I had no clue that he used to be a wrestler.
You didn't realize
Or-
that Steve Carino's manager was the same Jack Victor? I don't know.
Gorilla Monsoon, I had no idea the history
Fair.
that was behind him either.
There.
Yeah. But we had an iconic moment in Fightful history last night, today, the Freddie Got Fingered review, which is now the longest, most in-depth review of Freddie Got Fingered ever. It's not just me saying it. Riccicino of Sports Illustrated also says it. But the longest Freddie Got Fingered review prior to that was 2 hours, 28 minutes by a review that has 18 views. Seems a little counterproductive.
17 of which were you.
Yes. Probably a number of them were me checking how many views. But over 3.5 hours of a Freddie Got Fingered review last night, including me wearing a cheese helmet.
Bless.
Everyone can watch that if that is what's up your alley.
We got Tom Green for the show too.
That's
from
true.
WCW Deep Cuts.
Yeah, our favorite Tom Green, not from my home.
Yes. We had him introduce it. I was the backwards man. I had my X-ray cat show off his ability to see through wooden doors. There were many things. I had considered purchasing some hooves. I did not. But yeah, I was going to rig up a sausage gimmick, but like, listen, in this economy,
yeah, it's messy.
Sean had to slash the budget for the Freddie Got Fingered review.
I mean,
it's like we can't travel anywhere, but I can spend it on puppets.
This came out of my personal thing, and my line of thinking for that is, okay, I will invest in their show because I believe their audience will at least send us chats to get them to perform things as those puppets. So that's my line of thinking there, and it's not something that Jimmy would have ever expensed in a world ever. But I will say that I sold $400 worth of sponsors, which is very
God bless. You know what? Good for those people. They got a good show and they got a good
yes.
Good for them. I saw one of them's Edmonton. I love the city.
Variant Edmonton, yeah, or a Variant Edition. Yes, I loved it. Somebody, Zach Schimmel, bought a sponsorship just to do a NAMI read, which I think is very useful after sitting through a 3.5 hour Freddie Got Fingered review. But I'm just upset that my own team didn't contact me to promote this. You didn't hit me up and say, hey, Sean, let's have you on the show. Let's talk to you about the Freddie Got Fingered review.
You just appear on this show to talk about Freddie Got Fingered.
Don't worry about
you. You could have me on to promote Common Bengals W. I did an in-depth look at last year's Cincinnati Bengals season ticket gift. It's a 17-second video because it's a decal.
Did you tell the people where you put it?
The decal?
Yes.
Oh, it's still sitting up there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but no, it's just sitting up there so I can have it for reference. But yeah,
amazing.
Go figure.
You want to?
Who are the Bengals playing this weekend?
Yeah,
the Jaguars.
Oh, people are gonna realize that Jaguars are actually bad because people think they're good because they beat the Panthers, and that's not fact.
Well. One of my favorite football experiences ever. We invited Jeremy down to Cincinnati to watch the Bengals Panthers game because he's a Panthers fan. And let me tell you, the Bengals were dog walking the Panthers.
It wasn't pretty.
It was bad. Like it was bad enough to where Joe Mixon was losing his job if he had a bad game, and he had 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And like it was abusive. And with like a minute left in the second quarter, the Panthers got, I think, their first down.
Yeah. Yes.
And Jeremy stood up in the season ticket section and violently cheered, "First down!"
I did the Cam Newton and everything. I was like, "First down!"
Yes.
And all the Bengals fans were like, "Look at this guy."
It was amazing. And everybody's like, "What's this asshole doing?" And then they see the Panthers hat on him and they were like, "Okay, this is quality entertainment."
Yeah, right. They had to give it like stuff. What are they going to be mad? The score is like 28-0 at this point. It's like, you know what?
It was very one-sided. And that's why this week I posted a tweet that said, me this week, and it was a screenshot of Jobber Nation because they're facing the Jaguars. And WWE Gareth. That's me all week.
Jesus.
I have been talking that shit too, directly as well. Like I always do.
I was gonna say we expect that.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the first time I did that was a couple years ago. It was like a Thursday night game, and the Jaguars were like kicking our ass the first half, and I wasn't obviously dropping Tony DMs about that. But when they were kicking our ass at halftime, I got a message. It's like, oh, I didn't see any messages. And I was like, oh, all right, okay. The Bengals won with a walk-off field goal.
Yeah, I wish Tony's Jags luck against the Panthers, and then he thanked me, and then I was like, "Can you play defense for the Panthers? Do you have any defensive players that you're just like willing to give us?" Defense is so terrible. 7 straight games with 200 yards rushing. Sean,
I think that Travis Hunter should be suspended for not going to MJF's wedding. Personally, I don't think that's very respectful of the rookie.
Well, how do we know he wasn't there? They had to delete all the pictures because everyone broke kayfabe.
I still got a bunch. Heard about the schedule and everything. I'll tell you what's funny. So I've been on Facebook a lot more. Please follow me on Facebook.
That sounds bad.
And I posted MJF's schedule, which is nuts. The number of international flights he's going to have back and forth to Winnipeg. But it was like wedding, collision, Winnipeg, collision, Winnipeg.
Toronto.
Toronto. No, not even that. Mexico, Toronto, Winnipeg, Pittsburgh, and it's like 3 weeks. Somebody said that's a normal schedule for WWE, and I was like, no, it's not.
No,
they like don't 1986, maybe.
Yeah, I was like, they don't do that anymore. And somebody said 8 days of work in 21 days. I'll take that. I'm like, do you think that he just goes to Winnipeg and says, "Hey guys, see you later," and then leaves? Insane. Plus, Winnipeg is not an easy flight. You are catching a connecting almost anywhere outside. Maybe Toronto probably has a direct.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
I would imagine that. But a lot of these places are not going to have direct.
Yeah, I mean, he's flying private if you believe his Twitter. Max.
I could believe Tony. Well, maybe.
Who knows?
Tony's getting a jet for MJF.
Maybe from work to work. Who knows what he's doing otherwise? Maybe it's in his deal.
Also, happy birthday to Iridian of Fightful.
Yes.
Just a wonderful, wonderful person. Very, very glad to have her work with her. But I also want to promote Down Under the Ring. It's up on their podcast platforms, but we just dropped a 30-minute Bryan Danielson interview on the main channel. As I pull that up and you can hear my own voice, 30+ minute interview with Bryan Danielson. And he's just, he's very transparent about his thoughts and his feelings and all that stuff. Please check that out. We would really, really appreciate you doing such. But we also have interviews with Kazarian that went largely overlooked. To promote the Freddie Got Fingered review, I posted their Hot Rod review, which somehow did 4 times as many views as the Kazarian interview. That's what kind of platform we're on.
No one cares about wrestler interviews, Sean.
I didn't say anything.
Yes, but trying to put some stuff together to see if we can talk to some people ahead of All Out, and obviously WrestlePalooza next week. But yeah, it's a busy time. And 3 p.m. Eastern, we'll have more on that announcement. FightfulSelect.com. Every Friday, I'm not going to say why I picked Friday to do a rumor roundup and verification, but that's what we're doing over at FightfulSelect.com.
It's the end of the week. That's all. It's the end of the week.
End of the week.
Yeah, just wrapping it up.
See you guys.
Thanks, Sean. Should probably get him to drop my Stu Grayson interview next week.
At some point. Yeah, that'd be good.
Only because Mystery is also running next Sunday.
Yeah.
And we do talk about Mystery. Plenty to do. Plenty of interviews. Plenty of content coming your way. Looking forward to doing the roundup.
Go back and watch our Terry Calloway interview yesterday. I got to make that. That might drop today because there's no coexisting today. So
I have to do a thumbnail for you for that.
Yeah.
That's not too fair. That's not too hard to do.
Okay.
That should be fine. Next Monday, we are scheduled. I have to get the name properly because I don't want to screw that up. That would be a problem.
That would be bad.
We're going to bring on Vanessa from Invoke Pro Wrestling. Who is Invoke? They are going to be running a no ropes hardcore wrestling, no mats show at Lee's Palace in Toronto on the Friday before All Outs. So she's going to join us. She's part of the ownership of Invoke Pro Wrestling, who are bringing the show in. She's based in Vancouver. She was part of that Circle 6 event where we talked to Matthew Justice about the spot with Shotzi off of the hot dog cart. So we'll be talking to her about that and plenty more. Looking forward to a little bit of hardcore deathmatch talk with our
hardcore deathmatch.
That's somebody else.
I know. I remixed it.
Hardcore deathmatch. Anyway, do we have anything else to talk about from I guess we gotta do SmackDown preview and all that stuff.
Why?
Because we already talked about it. It's gonna be Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton, and I'm sure Cody Rhodes will show up somewhere. Brock Lesnar appears, and for the women's championship, Tiffany Stratton takes on Jade Cargill. Anything else announced for the show that I've missed? I don't think so.
No.
It's according to our
that
review.
Tiffany Stratton Jade Cargill match is on this show. Okay.
Notice how it's not on WrestlePalooza. Anyway, from the Scope in Norfolk.
That was the first event that I watched a wrestling show from. The famous WCW World War III 95. Observe this, brother.
And if that's not enough for you, tonight, after SmackDown, more wrestling.
Yeah, that sucks.
WWE and AAA presents Worlds Collide from the Thomas and Mack Center, the Cox Pavilion, home of TNA Unbreakable 2025. Where's Steve Macklin?
Norfolk in the Cox.
Norfolk in the Cox. That's where Steve Macklin became the international champion, was at the Cox Pavilion. Get your Cox out. Penta's going to be there.
I got to pop my dick, man.
We've gotten so much play from that stupid video. Penta's going to appear in AAA for the first time in many, many years. 8-man tag match: Nino Hamburguesa, Octagon Jr., Laredo Kid, and Mascarita Sagrada versus Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wild, Lince Dorado, and Mini Abismo Negro. Going to be a tag team match mixed. Mr. Iguana and Lola Vice, the Green Lovers, versus Finn Balor and Roxanne Perez. Well, is that what they are? The Green Lovers?
The Green Ass Shakers.
Did you know that Lola Vice is Latina? She'll tell you. Don't worry, you'll see it tonight. The Reina de Reinas Championship #1 contender match. Natty Neidhart takes on Fabi Apache. World Tag Team title match. Psycho Clan and Pagano take on the New Day, which is so hilarious when they announced that last week. La Parca said himself he wasn't going to show up to the event, so he got replaced by Laredo Kid. Latin American Championship Fatal 4-Way. El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., who's the champion, takes on Dragon Lee, Ethan Page from NXT, and JD McBighead. And then for the Mega Campeona, El Hijo del Vikingo takes on Dominic Mysterio. And I'm sure Hater of the Year AJ Styles might not be far behind, unless they've completely dropped it. AJ Styles is going to show up in a mask.
I think they might put this title on Dom.
We've been saying that for a couple of shows now.
Yeah, but this feels like... I know, like, Dom lost the last one. Are they really going to beat him in 2 straight shows?
He is the
like, he's still the Intercontinental Champion, though. They don't
really care.
I mean,
because they know he gets his heat back.
Yeah, but I think they care enough to where they don't want him to lose every single show that he's on.
It's fine.
I think he's gonna win.
I think he gets screwed by AJ Styles again, and then AJ Styles starts wearing a mask, and he becomes El Phenomenal.
Is that still a thing? Him and AJ? Didn't he beat AJ?
He took on El Grande Americano, didn't he?
Yeah, he beat AJ because Americano interfered.
But Americano is still attached to Dominic. They're still friends. I think
Dominic's winning. I mean, Conan. It's very funny. Conan did an interview with Denise and just flat out said, I hope they put the title on Dominic. It's like, you're part of the booking team. So.
Come on, man.
I think Dom's winning this title. Honestly, the rest of the card, I think it's fine.
Did Conan ask Denise if she listened to his podcast?
Oh, so very funny.
I knew it.
Very funny. No, Conan did not ask that, but Denise messages me and gave me a heads up. It's like, oh, I just did an interview with Conan. It's really good. And I just replied back, all caps, do you listen to his podcast? And she didn't know the bit. She did not know the bit. No.
Clearly, Conan has not been in Denise's DMs.
No, she was like, I've heard what they've said about me on his podcast. I was like, oh yeah, his co-hosts suck.
Yes,
like,
they do.
Yeah, all of his co-hosts are terrible. But Conan and Denise go way back from when Denise was just like starting out and everything, and Conan was very helpful to her. So I know they have like a good relationship. But yeah, his co-hosts absolutely suck. But if she didn't know the bit, I was like, he DMs everybody, do you listen to his podcast? And she's like, oh, I didn't realize that. I was like, Denise, bless. Just unplugged from certain things.
Good for her, man.
Yeah, we should all aspire to do that.
Should we go through Collision, even though it's a tape show and I'm trying not to?
I'm going to spoil all of Collision, so if you don't want to be spoiled on Collision, then tune out now, because I'm about to fucking spoil this whole show for you. Sure, go for it. Run down the card, Joel.
Let the record show I did not give out spoilers. Cover your ears if you want to stay spoiler free. This is what Jeremy does. In 3, 2, 1. MJF and Mark Briscoe. You get the Mark Briscoe announcement for their match at All Out.
Thumbtacks, tables, and no DQ. You could just do no DQ and use thumbtacks and tables, but it is specified that thumbtacks and tables will be part of this match. Cowardly style match. Just do a chicken coop match.
I couldn't believe it when they announced that was the stip. I was like, no DQ, but those things are part of a no DQ match. Oh, All Out Unified title match qualifier. Takeshita and Anthony Bowens.
Takeshita wins with a move that couldn't beat a brown belt at your local jiu-jitsu tournament.
This one shouldn't surprise anybody. $500,000 on the line, 5-on-5. Jamie Hayter, Ty Mello, Anna Jay, Chris Stylander, and Harley Cameron take on the Triangle of Madness, Penelope Ford, and Megan Bain. It's funny that we talked about we're a Ty J and they're back, baby. They're on this Saturday's Collision.
I actually don't remember who wins this match, so Triangle of Madness wins. I do not know who actually wins this match. I forgot.
Max Caster and Big Bill.
Big Bill wins with a big boot that couldn't win you a karate tournament.
I feel like big boots don't typically win karate tournaments. You know,
you never know.
You want to tell them what happens afterwards or leave it alone? Just play the drop. Just play the drop and we'll leave it at that.
What's the drop? What drop am I playing? Papa Dick?
No, that would be funny. No, I'm just gonna. I'll play the drop and then we'll just move on.
I'm vanilla, baby.
Oh, yeah, but it doesn't use a theme, so it's lame.
Well,
the Acclaimed reunites, kind of, sorta. Get ready to scissor. Hope you hadn't have enough scissoring.
Tommy Billington and Adam Priest versus FTR 2.
If you watched last week, you know who wins this match.
Okada and Michael Oku.
Okada wins with a clothesline that couldn't dry my laundry.
Nice. Death Riders and Paragon. Moxley and Garcia against Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong.
If you watched Wednesday, you know who wins this match.
The Chair. And that's it.
That's everything? Okay.
Yeah. And then after the show, and this is what Sean was alluding to, Tony Khan brought out honored Eddie Gilbert and brought out Jeff Jarrett, Doug Gilbert, Tommy Rich, and Sting made a surprise appearance at the 2300 Arena. It's Sting! Nice little moment for them.
Yeah.
There you go. So that's AEW Collision.
Sorry, everybody.
Are you apologizing for Tony or are you apologizing for giving away spoilers?
I made the show, I got people excited for this show.
Yeah, more palatable.
Man.
You're gonna pop your dick to this Collision.
AEW should start spoiling WWE shows. Honestly,
You
just on
mean-
Dynamite. Imagine if they're like, anyway, on Friday SmackDown, the guy named 40 times in a sex trafficking lawsuit is gonna yell at somebody. Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre will be confirmed for WrestlePalooza. And then Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill, who was our TBS champion but lost twice in the end, are gonna have a match.
That'll put butts in seats. Wait a minute. Anyway,
They should just start spoiling shit. I would laugh so much.
we should do a sponsored spoiler spot. That's all we need.
Sponsored spoilers. Okay.
Amazing. Back on Monday, we'll talk about everything, including the spoilers that you just got handed to you, whether you liked it or not. It's wrestling. Y'all don't care. It's fine. Do we have a short?
For today,
Yes.
I don't know. I've been slacking on shorts this week because I didn't have a great week.
It's been a week.
I
Shall we hit one real quick?
Sure.
The and a 3 and a 2 and a 1. Wardlow, according to several outlets, including Fightful Select, Self-Made, and believe it or not, PW Torch, had reported that he was in talks to be the person to face Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World Championship at All Outs. Unfortunately, due to his injury, an audible was called, and they restructured creative to have Kyle Fletcher, who was also supposed to be part of the build to Wardlow's world title match. The call was made to have Kyle Fletcher take the title shot instead at All Outs. An unfortunate situation for Wardlow, who is still injured, a pectoral injury, as it were, but that is the original plan. Wardlow was supposed to be challenging for the world title. Best wishes to Wardlow. Hopefully he gets well soon.
I think that it makes a lot more. Hangman Page's promo makes more sense if you just view it aimed at Wardlow. That's how I'm choosing to view this now. And it sucks that make the Collision spoilers this short. That's what I should do. Honestly, fuck it. It does suck that Wardlow got hurt again. He just gets back and he just gets hurt again. It's unfortunate. Guy can't really catch a break.
Before we get out of here, Vala, why don't you put your finger on the button?
Okay.
Vanilla Fumble.
I'm vanilla, baby.
Just be hanging there. Huh? It's what we call when you hit the button without me sending a super chat. Suck. Also, another talent getting some time off. AEW's, well, I guess Ring of Honor World Champion Athena gets 1,000 days and has been given a few weeks off. Sources indicated to Fightful that she'd be out of the ring for 5 to 6 weeks. So basically,
It's fine. There's no ROH shows coming up.
just like Trick Williams, she doesn't have to defend for however long until Final Battle. Will she drop the title? Yes, to Billy Starks at GalaxyCon for Final Battle 2025. If you think I'm joking, I spent months telling you all they're going to put the Acclaim back together. See you on Saturday. Do you have anything else?
I hope Max Caster does raps again so he can,
It seems like a bad idea. All right.
Nah, that sounds awesome. Imagine the trouble Max Caster will get into if he starts rapping again.
I'm so excited for this Nintendo Virtual Boy gimmick.
Joel over here getting ready to.
I gotta pop my dick, man.
Brother, I can
Virtual
watch.
Boy.
I can play Wario Land and Vertical Force and Mario Tennis. That game was underrated. Mario Tennis on the
was
Virtual
good.
Boy ruled. That was the game,
I
man.
didn't play it on Virtual Boy, but I did
Play it on Virtual Boy.
Tennis.
30 minutes and your head will feel awful, but you'll be so happy you did. Play the game.
Yeah.
Everybody plays the game. Not time to play the game. The other good one. Anyway, let's get out of here, Jeremy. Go enjoy weekends.
I gotta work. Fuck that.
You want to hear more about the AEW MLP TNA talk? Check out the rumor roundup on Fightful Select, $5.99, best $5.99 in the business. You'll hear plenty about it. So for him, for me, 10 a.m. Monday. We'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the weekend. Cheers.